Recently, a South African team joined the Global Space Balloon Challenge, where they launched a high-altitude balloon together with a dozen teams around the world who will be rolling out and doing this over the next year. Why this geeky obsession? Naturally, we're taking you to the edge to find out. Well, I'm in the tech pit of Binary Space, and I'm also with Tom van der Bond, who is a co-founder. Now, you've got some interesting gizmos and gadgets around, but something very special happened for you guys this year, April. Tell me more.
Well, in April, in January actually, we started preparing for a high-altitude balloon launch. It is part of the Global Space Balloon Challenge. It's basically held across the world. We've got about 70 countries involved, more than 100 teams, all launching balloons between 2 time periods in April. From the 10th of April up to the 27th of April. And yeah, so we decided to investigate everything that's required to do a balloon launch, and then decided to get into it. And on the 10th of April, we had a successful launch.
Now, I'd almost say that this has kind of become your mascot, and this is actually all that's left of your balloon.
Yes, that's
that
all
went
left.
up. Tell me more about the process that went into this. I mean, it's not only this, but also this box over here.
That's correct. This is the payload. Originally, when we started this project, we thought, you know, it's simple. You get a balloon, you fill it with gas, you let it go. But there was quite a bit more involved. First off, we had to get airspace approval to be able to release the balloon. And then we started sourcing the different components. Now, what you can see here is the leftovers of the balloon. We've got a parachute attached to that. And then to that, we've got the payload, which basically keeps all the electronics, such as we had a camera in there for the footage, we had a tracker in there so that we can actually find the balloon back, and then batteries to basically power the whole thing from the way up and down. And then for the payload, we chose a polystyrene box, basically to keep the temperature inside warm enough, because on the outside it gets minus 40, minus 50 degrees, and your electronics will freeze over at that point. So we went with a polystyrene box, and then we basically hacked it all together in the last couple of days before the launch. And Saturday morning we went there, set everything up, let the balloon go, and then we started tracking it.
Now, speaking of tracking, I mean, there are full details on this box about where it needs to go to, if it's found. So who actually found it, and how did you end up getting it back?
Well, the tracker we used in there, originally we wanted to use a cell phone for tracking, but the problem is the higher it goes, eventually you'll lose signal. So we got involved with some ham radio guys. They helped us get a proper radio transmitter that could transmit the coordinates all the way from the bottom, going up and then all the way back down. From launch to find was about 2.5 hours, and in that period we were basically following the ham guys, tracking the balloon all over the space, and then when it came down, I think it took us another 40 minutes to actually get to the spot because it was moving so fast. But one of the ham radios beat us to the punch by like 5 minutes to get it. But he left everything nice there just for us to find it as well. So no, if it wasn't for the ham radio guys, I'm not sure how well we would have found the balloon.
Well, no doubt that there was a certain expectation of height. Did it exceed? Did you reach a target?
Well, our 2 goals for this was A, recover the balloon successfully, and B, reach 30,000 meters altitude. Because of the payload weight, we actually reached a bit higher, and we got to 32,500 meters, which was a plus on our side. And then also we recovered the balloon with everything intact. So our 2 main goals for the balloon were totally reached.
Your camera was quite vital in this whole process as well. What kind of damage did it incur?
Well, we had to put in the camera to prove that we actually went up all the way. We used the GoPro camera that was basically put inside there. Amazingly enough, as you see it here, this was the complete condition of how we found it. So it is essentially in a perfect condition. Maybe a few stickers peeling off here and there. But the GoPro, it was still busy running when we retrieved it. So our video actually ends where you can see us picking up the payload and that. This is mostly the reason also why you put the parachute on there. For something to fall down 30,000 meters, it will get broken. So the parachute kicks in at the last part of the descent, and then it basically slows it all down. From the point where it burst to where it actually reached the ground still took a good hour.
I see your t-shirt says that you will hack for beer.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, we will. Most of our projects involve having a few beers while we're doing it. We've even got a cakes set up here with some craft beer. We only drink proper beer at MakerSpace. So you could say it's like a wine club, but with beer and for geeks.
Well, all I have to say is bottoms up to that. So Sebastian, you are the other half of co-founder status here at MakerSpace. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Right, so this is actually one of the projects that have come out of this space. Why even start a space like this here?
A, because we can, and B, there's been a general move towards makerspaces all over the world, and we decided we needed one in the Vaal Triangle because the nearest one was Joburg. So we started our own one, and we posted our stuff on the website and things like that, and we gained popularity and we got more and more members.
Tell me more about what you have up your sleeve in terms of current and upcoming projects.
We do try and do a monthly project at MakerSpace. This is our current one that we will be doing this month, is our own special benchtop power supply. And basically it's needed for any electronics project that you want to do. You always need power for it and to experiment with it. So we're building this for everybody's little station so that they can work. You're actually holding one of our other projects, a project started by me. It's called the InMove. It's a 3D printable humanoid robot, which will be full size. We're talking 1.8 meters tall once it's fully assembled. It's been on standstill for a little bit due to other projects, monthly projects, but it will still continue further along. And the more members we have, the more interest there is in getting it going.
Sounds very exciting. Might just find itself in the next Avengers movie up against Hulk, huh?
Maybe.
Well, Sebastian, I would say that you are hands down one of the best makerspaces I've seen, and especially because you will hack for beer.